Alex, a man in his mid-30s, with a wife, Sarah, and 2 children, a son, 8, named Leo, and a daughter, 5, named Lily, had built a successful carpentry business from the ground up. He was good at what he did, crafting custom furniture and handling high-end renovations, the kind of work affluent clients paid handsomely for. He earned a comfortable living, clearing around $85,000 a year. This was a stark contrast to his family's perception of him, always disapproving despite his tangible success. Growing up, Alex felt nothing he did was ever good enough. His brother, Ben, became the favored son after getting into law school. His sister, Emily, married Mark, a wealthy financier, and never missed an opportunity to highlight her advantageous marriage. Alex, meanwhile, was seen as the underachiever who pursued a trade. His parents, a bank executive and a real estate agent, were consumed by status. They wanted him in a field they could boast about at their exclusive club. The message arrived as Alex was loading tools into his truck, heading to a job site for a $23,000 renovation. He checked his phone and saw a notification from the family group chat, titled, "Dad's Retirement Party." Expecting discussions about party planning, he opened it. The words hit him hard, "Don't come to my retirement celebration. The whole family doesn't want you there. You're a disappointment." It was a raw, unfiltered expression of contempt from his own father. He reread the message, trying to process the bluntness. For years, their disappointment had been subtle, the tension at holiday dinners, the backhanded compliments about his practical skills, the way they treated Sarah, his wife, like she was a lesser choice because she was a teacher, not a corporate professional. But this message was brutally honest. He scrolled up, finding no precursor to the sudden dismissal, only mundane party details. Alex typed a response, "You chose your elite friends over your son." Then, he cancelled the custom retirement gift he had secretly been building for his father, a piece that would have been worth thousands if commissioned by a client. His father had always secretly admired his woodworking, even while pretending not to. Alex had intended it as a peace offering, a way to show the value in his work. Responses to his message quickly flooded in. His cousin, Sam, sent laughing emojis. Emily, his sister, wrote, "You really think you deserve to be there after how you embarrassed the family at Thanksgiving?" Ben, his lawyer brother, whom Alex had helped move multiple times and loaned money to, simply liked the message and remained silent. Then came a meme from his uncle, David, with Alex's face photoshopped onto a construction worker, captioned, "Family screw-up." Alex actually laughed, not because it was funny, but because it solidified his resolve. He was done. What they didn't know was that Alex had been keeping a mental tally over the years. Every time they asked for free home repairs, every time they made him feel like the black sheep for not chasing a corporate job or driving a luxury car, every family event where he was the punchline while fixing their deck for free. They expected him to sulk and apologize, as he usually did. But not this time. They had severed the connection, and Alex had a plan. After that group chat, Alex remained silent. He didn't block them or delete the thread, he wanted them to see him active online, living his life, and to wonder. The first step was to tell Sarah everything, not just about the message, but about the years of underlying tension. They sat at their kitchen table after the children were asleep. Sarah listened without interruption, a quality Alex cherished. When he finished, she simply reached for his hand and asked, "What do you want to do?" This moment deeply affected him. Unlike many in his family, he had unwavering support, a fact he had taken for granted while seeking approval from those who would never offer it. "I want to show them what happens when they lose the one person who cared about more than just appearances," Alex declared. He had already established a strong local reputation, but he decided to take his marketing to the next level. He called his friend, Mark, who ran a digital marketing agency, to rebrand his carpentry business. This wasn't just a basic website, it included professional photography of his work, client testimonials, and a proper booking system. It cost him $4,800, but within 2 months, he was booked 3 months out. This was just the beginning of his plan to quietly distance himself while elevating his career. Next, he contacted his old army buddy, Chris. They had served 2 tours together overseas, and Chris now owned a successful contracting company in Atlanta, Georgia. Chris had long urged Alex to join forces, emphasizing the booming market for custom woodwork there and the scarcity of skilled craftsmen. He had even offered to help Alex relocate. Alex texted him, "Still need a master carpenter in Atlanta?" Chris's response was immediate, "Hell yes. My guys are booked 6 months out. Got a client base ready and waiting." Meanwhile, Alex strategically used social media, posting his high-end projects, such as custom built-ins for a local CEO and a hand-carved dining table that sold for $9,500. He also shared workshop videos, always maintaining a professional and successful image, never mentioning family drama. His family noticed, viewing his social media stories. Sam started liking his posts. Emily commented on a picture of a walnut desk he built, writing, "Wow, impressive work." His mother began sending private messages, asking about the children and sharing articles about woodworking. Alex left all their messages unread. Then his father texted directly, "Your mother's worried about you. Answer her messages." There was no apology, no acknowledgement of the previous text, just an order. Alex did not respond, holding on to his secret plan. Then came a call from his former boss, Tom Miller. Alex had worked with Tom at a cabinet shop years ago, and Tom remembered how Alex had helped him complete a rush job for the mayor, saving their biggest client. Tom had since become a highly respected furniture designer, even hosting his own TV show. They had stayed in touch casually, exchanging texts and project feedback. Alex sent him photos of his recent work, and Tom called the next day. "Alex, this is top-tier stuff. Why haven't you been showing this off?" Tom exclaimed. They spoke for an hour, and by the end, Tom had offered Alex a guest spot on his show and an introduction to his distributor who was looking for artisan pieces. Just like that, Alex had a potential national platform and distribution channel. 2 weeks after his father's text, Ben called. When Alex didn't answer, Ben left a voicemail, "Hey, Dad's retirement thing is next Saturday. Mom's asking if you're still coming. Let someone know, okay?" Alex didn't call back, letting them wonder. About 3 weeks after the initial text, Alex was loading his truck after finishing a built-in library for a university professor when his phone rang. It was his cousin, Mark, who wasn't part of the problematic group chat. Mark had moved to San Francisco years ago after a disagreement with Uncle David over a loan that was never repaid. They kept in touch with occasional texts about sports and fishing. "Dude, what the hell is going on with you and Uncle Charles?" Mark asked as soon as Alex answered. Alex gave him the condensed version, the text, the family's reactions, and years of being treated as the family failure. Mark was silent for a moment before saying, "You know they talk about everyone behind their backs, right? Even St. Ben." This piqued Alex's interest. "What do you mean?" he asked. Mark laughed, a humorless sound. "Your dad was at my parents' place last month. I was in town and overheard him and my dad talking. He was complaining about how Ben's firm is struggling and he had to help him out with the down payment on his house," Mark revealed. He said something like, "At least Alex stands on his own 2 feet, even if it's just swinging a hammer." This information struck Alex hard. "There's more," Mark continued. "Your mom apparently hates Emily's husband, Mark. Calls him the arrogant jerk behind their backs. And get this, the reason they're having this big retirement celebration? Your dad didn't choose to retire. The bank pushed him out, something about restructuring, but my dad said there were rumors about accounting irregularities in his department." After Mark's call, Alex sat in his truck for a long time, processing everything. All these years, he had believed he was the black sheep. It turned out his entire family's image was a facade, a house of cards built on lies. The next day, Alex received a text from Lisa, his sister Emily's college roommate. They had always gotten along at the few events where she was present. Lisa had recently started working on the same charity board as Emily's wealthy husband, Mark. "Hey, Alex. Weird question. Is everything okay with Emily and Mark?" she asked. "She called me crying at 2 a.m. something about finding messages on his phone with his assistant." Alex called Lisa back. It turned out Emily had caught Mark cheating with his 26-year-old assistant. The perfect rich husband, the perfect marriage, the perfect life she had always flaunted in his face, another facade crumbling. 2 days later, his cousin Sam's wife, Olivia, messaged him on social media. They weren't close, but Olivia had always been kind. "Your family is in panic mode about this retirement party," she wrote. "Your dad's former boss and all these bank executives are coming. They're freaking out that you won't be there, and people will ask questions. Emily actually suggested hiring someone to pretend to be you. Just thought you should know." Alex actually laughed out loud at that, hiring an actor to play the embarrassing carpenter son. That was a new low, even for them. But the real revelation came from Tom, his old boss. After agreeing to have Alex on his show, Tom had made some calls to his industry contacts about Alex's work. One of those contacts was a high-end furniture dealer in Denver who had done business with Alex's family. "Alex, weird thing," Tom said. "I mentioned your name to Steve over at Denver Fine Furnishings. He immediately recognized your last name. Said your parents have been buying from him for years. The strange part," Tom continued, "was that they always show off your pieces to their friends, claiming they paid thousands for artisan furniture." Alex felt punched in the gut. They had been bragging about his work, the very work they mocked him for doing. Tom went on, "Steve said, your dad once brought in some business associates and pointed to a walnut console table, one you made for them last Christmas, and told everyone he'd paid $7,500 for it from an exclusive craftsman. The pieces were falling into place. His family didn't just disrespect him, they were actually proud of his work, just not proud enough to admit their son was the craftsman. He was good enough to provide status symbols but not good enough to be acknowledged." That night, Alex told Sarah everything he had learned. She wasn't surprised. "They've been using you for years, Alex," she said. "Free labor, free furniture, free childcare when they're in a pinch, but God forbid they actually respect what you do." She was right. That's when Alex's plan shifted from simply walking away to ensuring they felt exactly what they were losing. He had about 5 weeks until their planned move to Atlanta. In that time, he had to set the stage perfectly. First, he listed their house with Sarah's cousin, who was a realtor, but kept it off public listings, opting for a private sale only. He told her he didn't want it broadcast everywhere yet. The housing market was hot, and they had done major renovations, all his own work. Sarah's cousin had quietly mentioned the market heating up months ago, so they were already prepared. They just never told the family. They were asking $80,000 over what they paid 4 years ago, and her initial assessment suggested they would likely get it. Housing inventory was at an all-time low in their area. Sarah's cousin had buyers lined up looking for homes exactly like theirs, which allowed them to command such a premium and close quickly. Next, Alex focused on being highly visible without being available. He accepted an interview with the local business journal about custom carpentry in the age of mass production. The article featured photos of his workshop and highlighted upcoming projects, including a mention of potential expansion opportunities. He made sure to get extra copies but didn't send any to his family. He also intensified his social media presence, posting daily project updates and client testimonials, and even doing a few live sessions showing his process. His follower count soared from a few hundred to over 10,000 in a couple of months. Then, he started declining local jobs, telling potential clients he was booked solid for 6 months and referring them to other craftsmen he knew. The truth was, he needed to clear his schedule for the move and his new venture with Chris. About 2 weeks before the retirement party, Alex posted a cryptic photo, empty moving boxes stacked in his workshop with the caption, "Big changes ahead. Stay tuned." That's when the real messages started flooding in. Emily called first, going straight to voicemail. Then his mom texted, "Honey, are you moving your workshop? Dad and I were talking about that spare room in the basement if you need storage space." Alex didn't answer, letting the questions linger. A day later, Ben called, and when Alex didn't answer, he sent a text, "Hey, man. What's with the boxes? Everything okay with the business? If you need a loan or legal advice for a new business structure, I'm here." Ben used to make jabs about manual laborers until Alex mentioned his 5-figure client list. Suddenly, they were all concerned about his career, the same career they had dismissed for years. Then came the retirement party invitations in the mail. Formal, gold-embossed cardstock announced the celebration of Charles Henderson's 40 years in banking. Sarah handed Alex the envelope with raised eyebrows. "Guess they're hoping you'll still show," she said. Inside, along with the invitation, was a handwritten note from his mom, "Alex, please come. It would mean the world to your father." No apology, no acknowledgement of the text or the group chat mockery, just the expectation that family obligation would outweigh self-respect. 3 days before the party, his father finally called. Alex let it go to voicemail. "Alex, it's Dad. Your mother's worried sick about you. This silent treatment is childish. We need to know if you're coming Saturday. Important people will be there." Important people, not, "I'm sorry," just concern about how his absence would look to influential guests. Alex didn't call back, but he did something better. He decided to finish the oak display case he had initially cancelled. It would be his parting statement. He arranged for its delivery to their house. It was his finest work to date, quarter-sawn oak with dovetail joints, glass panels, hidden compartments, and custom brass hardware, a piece that would easily sell for $5,000. He included a card that simply read, "Congratulations on your retirement. This is the last thing you'll ever get from me." The delivery was scheduled for the morning of the retirement party. Meanwhile, their plan was in its final stages. The house was under contract, sold for $95,000 over their purchase price. The moving company was booked. Chris had found them a rental in Atlanta until they could buy something, and he had already lined up 3 major clients eager for custom work. Tom had scheduled Alex for his TV show the following month, and the distributor was reviewing his portfolio. Things were falling perfectly into place. The last piece of the puzzle was the most satisfying. Alex had been in talks with his father's bank's biggest competitor about designing and building custom furniture for their newly renovated executive floor. The contract was worth $120,000, more than his father probably made in a year at the end of his career. The delicious irony was that his father's retirement party was being held at this competitor's event space, and Alex had ensured the contract announcement would go live on their social media the morning of the party. The night before the retirement celebration, Sarah and Alex sat on their back deck, watching the kids play in the yard. Sarah squeezed his hand. "Ready for tomorrow?" she asked. Alex nodded, more than ready. The morning of his father's retirement party, Alex woke early and checked his phone. The competitor bank had posted as planned, a press release announcing their renovation project, highlighting renowned local craftsman Alex Henderson as the artisan selected for their executive suite furniture. They included photos of his previous work and a quote from their CEO about investing in local artisan talent. The bank tagged him in the post, which is how half the party found out before they even arrived. Alex took screenshots and waited. At 9:37 a.m., his workshop security camera signaled movement. The delivery guys were loading the oak display case onto their truck, right on schedule. At 10:15 a.m., Sarah came into the workshop where Alex was finishing some small projects. "Your mom's called 3 times in the last 10 minutes, she said, holding up her phone. "Should I answer?" "Not yet," Alex replied. At 11:22 a.m., the delivery company sent confirmation, package delivered and signed for by Charles Henderson. Then the storm hit. His mom called again, 7 times in a row. His dad called twice. Emily texted, "What the actual hell, Alex? Dad's crying. What did you do?" Ben was more direct, "Answer your goddamn phone. This has gone far enough." Alex turned his phone off and spent the afternoon playing with the kids at the park. When they got home around 4 p.m., about an hour before the retirement party was scheduled to start, he finally turned his phone back on. He had 27 missed calls and 43 text messages, most from family, but some from family friends and even a couple from his dad's colleagues. He scrolled through the texts. They ranged from rage to confusion to desperate pleas. His mom's message read, "Alex, please call us immediately. Your father can't go to the party like this." Ben's, "How long have you been talking to First National? Did you know how this would look? Dad's career is ending with him being humiliated." Emily's, "The display case is beautiful, but the card was cruel. Mom can't stop crying. Please call me back. Mark moved out yesterday and I can't handle another crisis. Uncle David's, you've gone too far, kiddo. Blood is blood." The most interesting came from his dad's boss, "Alex, this is Mr. Davison. Very impressed with your work through First National. Didn't realize you were Charles's son. Would like to discuss potential opportunities." He showed Sarah the messages. She read through them and looked up at him. "They still don't get it, do they?" she asked. "They're not upset about hurting you. They're upset about looking bad in front of their friends." She was right. Not one message contained a genuine apology for how they treated him, it was all about reputation. At 5:30 p.m. As the retirement party was starting, Alex finally responded, not individually, but in the family group chat where it had all begun. "By now, you've all seen the announcement and received my gift. Consider this my reply to the retirement party. No, I won't be there to play the role of dutiful son in your performance of Perfect Family," he wrote. "For years, you've treated me like an embarrassment while secretly bragging about my work to your friends. You've called me for free labor while mocking my career choice. You kicked me out of the family when it was convenient. And now you want me back because it looks bad if I'm not there. Here's what you should know. I'm moving to Atlanta next week. I've sold the house. I've signed contracts worth more than Dad made in his final year. The son you were ashamed of is now more successful than any of you. So enjoy the party. Enjoy explaining my absence. And enjoy the display case. It's the last piece of me you'll ever have." Alex put his phone down and took the kids out for ice cream. When they returned, the real reactions had begun. His cousin Mark had chimed in, "About time someone called out this toxic family dynamic." Olivia, Sam's wife, wrote, "Your family has always treated him like garbage. I've seen it for years." That night, as Sarah and Alex packed the last of their personal items, his phone rang again. It was Tom. "Alex, what the hell did you do? I've got Charles Henderson's wife crying in my showroom asking for my help to fix things with you." Alex hadn't expected that. "My mom went to see you?" he asked. "Yeah, and she's a mess. Says you're moving across the country and they didn't even know. Says you've been ignoring them for weeks." Alex explained the situation, and Tom listened intently. "Look, I get it, but she seems genuinely broken up. Says your dad didn't write that text," Tom said. "Apparently, your brother Ben did. Used your dad's phone when he left it at their house during some family dinner planning session. Said it was supposed to be a joke that got out of hand and no one knew how to walk it back after everyone piled on. Ben wrote it and let Dad take the blame. That's what she's saying. Honestly, she's so distraught, I believe her. She brought photos of your childhood, pictures of your dad at your high school wood shop showcase. Said he kept every project you ever made, even the janky birdhouse from 3rd grade. Alex's mind reeled. Ben had started this. The golden child had impersonated their father to exclude him and then allowed the blame to fall on their dad. It made a twisted kind of sense. Ben had always been jealous of any attention Alex received, always needing to be the favorite. But it didn't change the fact that no one had stood up for him. No one had set the record straight. They had all joined in, all willing to cut him out. "Tom, thanks for telling me," Alex said. "But it doesn't change my plans." They had weeks to come clean, to apologize. Instead, they only reached out when they needed something from me. They left for Atlanta 2 weeks after the retirement party. The movers were already scheduled. Alex had set the wheels in motion weeks before, knowing exactly how this would unfold. He never responded to any more messages from his family. The moving truck came at dawn, and by noon, their old house was empty. The new owners would take possession the following week. They had been planning this move longer than anyone knew. Chris had been sending him rental listings for months, which is how they found a place that fit their needs perfectly. The drive to Atlanta took 11 hours with the kids and a moving truck. Chris met them at the rental house with keys and takeout. The place was perfect, a 4-bedroom craftsman with a detached garage Alex could convert into a workshop until they found something permanent. Alex spent the first week setting up shop and meeting with potential clients Chris had lined up. The market was even better than Chris had described, wealthy homeowners and businesses willing to pay premium prices for custom work. By the end of the week, he had deposits for 6 major projects and a waiting list forming. Sarah found a preschool teaching position that paid 20% more than her old job. The kids adapted quickly. Leo joined a baseball league, and Lily found a dance studio she loved. They were building a new life, piece by piece. Then, exactly 2 weeks after they moved, Alex got a text from Mark. "Heads up, cousin. Ben's been fired. Something about client funds and gambling debts. Your parents are freaking out." Alex didn't respond, but he did some digging. Sure enough, Ben's law firm had a press release announcing his departure and reassuring clients that their accounts were secure. Reading between the lines, it was clearly damage control. 3 days later, Emily called. "Alex, I know you probably hate us all right now, and I don't blame you, but I need to talk to you," she said. "It's about Ben and Dad. Also, I'm living at Mom and Dad's now. The divorce is getting ugly. Mark's trying to take everything. Please call me back." Alex called her back. "This better not be a guilt trip," he said when she answered. "It's not. I swear," she replied, and Alex could hear she had been crying. "Everything's falling apart here. Ben was fired last week. He stole from client accounts to cover gambling debts, almost $200,000. They're not pressing charges if he pays it back, but he doesn't have the money. And this concerns me how?" Alex asked. Emily sighed. "Dad remortgaged their house to cover it. The house they've owned free and clear for 15 years. They're in their 60s, Alex. Dad's retirement savings are gone, and now they've got a mortgage payment they can't afford on their fixed income." Alex leaned against his workbench, processing again. "Why are you telling me this?" he asked. "Because Ben confessed everything about using Dad's phone to send that text, about how he's been sabotaging your relationship with the family for years because he was jealous of your talent and independence," Kathy said quickly. "He'd delete voicemails you left, tell Dad you said things you never said. He admitted it all. There were always signs of his interference, conversations that didn't add up, plans that mysteriously changed. We just never connected the dots because no one expects their own brother to sabotage them." She paused, then continued more quietly. "And I need to apologize, too. For years, I looked down on you because you didn't follow the path we were supposed to take. I married Mark because he had money and status, not because I loved him. I flaunted my big house and vacations. Acted like I was better than you. Now look at me. Divorcing, broke, living in our parents' guest room while my cheating ex-husband's lawyers try to take what little I have left. Part of Alex felt vindicated, but another part felt sick. And you all just believed him? He asked. No one ever questioned why I'd suddenly stop calling or say hurtful things. We should have, she admitted. After you left, a lot of things started making sense. The timing of misunderstandings. How Ben always seemed to be the messenger when there was drama between you and Dad. We were blind and we were wrong. Alex didn't say anything for a long moment. Finally, he asked, "What do they want from me, Emily?" "Money," she said quickly. "They don't know I'm calling you. But they're going to lose the house, Alex. Mom's a mess. Dad's health is declining from the stress. They've started selling furniture to make the mortgage payments, including your furniture." Alex thought of the pieces they had claimed cost thousands. The irony wasn't lost on him. "I need to think about this," he said. "I'll call you back." He thought about it long and hard. He wanted them to understand what they did wrong, truly understand it, not just apologize because they needed something from him. And he wanted Ben to face consequences for once in his life. The next day, Alex called Emily back. "I need to talk to everyone. Set up a video call. You, Mom, Dad, and Ben. Tonight at 8 p.m. sharp." His laptop screen filled with their faces. They looked terrible. "Alex," his mom started. "We're so sorry." Alex cut her off. "I don't want apologies yet. First, I want the truth. Ben, tell me exactly what you did." "All of it." Ben swallowed hard. "I used Dad's phone to send that text about the retirement party. I saw how much work you were putting into that display case. Heard you were planning something special. I was jealous. You built something real on your own terms. I was drowning in student loans and hating my job and gambling to feel something. When everyone laughed at the text, I was too cowardly to admit what I'd done." "What else?" Alex pressed. "Over the years, I deleted voicemails. Told Dad you'd said things you hadn't. Convinced Mom you were too busy for family events when you'd actually said you'd try to make it. I've been driving a wedge between you and the family for years." His dad looked shell-shocked. His mom was silently crying. "And now you've stolen from clients and dragged our parents into your mess," Alex said flatly. Ben nodded miserably. Alex turned his attention to Emily. "And you? All those years looking down your nose at me and Sarah." She wiped her eyes. "I was insecure. I needed everyone to think I'd made it. The whole time I was showing off my perfect life, he was cheating with half his office. Now I'm left with nothing. No alimony because of the prenup I was too stupid to read carefully. All those designer clothes and luxury vacations, and I have less savings than you do." Alex let the silence hang for a moment. "Here's what's going to happen," Alex began. "Ben, you're going to get help for your gambling addiction. Real help, not just promises. You're going to work and pay back every cent to Mom and Dad, even if it takes years." Ben nodded. "Mom, Dad, I'm not giving you money, but I am offering something else. I've just signed a lease on a larger workshop here in Atlanta. The rental we're in has an in-law suite over the garage. You can move here, live in that space, rent-free while you figure out your next steps." They stared at him in shock. Alex continued, "There are conditions. This isn't a free ride. Dad, you've got skills from your banking career. You're going to help me with the business side of my company, bookkeeping, contracts, client management. Mom, you've got real estate experience. You'll help us find a permanent home here and then work with my designer to stage and photograph my pieces for marketing. You want us to work for you?" His dad asked, looking confused. "No," Alex replied, "I want you to stop being helpless. If you want back in, earn it." His mom was openly crying. "We messed up," she said. I know it'll take time. No, Alex agreed, you don't. But I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for my kids who deserve to know their grandparents, and I'm doing it for me because carrying anger is exhausting, and I've got better things to build with that energy. He looked at Emily. You're welcome, too, if you want. There's a spare bedroom, but same deal. You work, you contribute. No more looking down on Sarah or what we do. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I'd like that, and I promise I've learned my lesson. The call ended with tentative plans and tearful thank yous. After hanging up, Sarah put her arms around him. You're a better person than they deserve, she said softly. Maybe, Alex replied. Or maybe I just know the value of building something to last. 6 months later, his parents settled into the in-law suite above their garage. His dad applied his banking expertise to the business, handling their finances and securing a small business loan for workshop expansion. His mom leveraged her real estate background to find them a century-old craftsman house with land for a proper workshop and started staging his furniture pieces for professional photos. Emily moved into their spare bedroom after her divorce financially devastated her. Her financier ex-husband received nearly everything thanks to the prenup she had signed, leaving her humiliated when he quickly moved his young assistant into the mansion Emily had decorated. She found work at a local design firm and began marketing high-end furniture, including Alex's. The woman who once mocked his hammer swinging now showed clients his portfolio with pride. Business thrived beyond expectations. His TV appearance with Tom evolved into a semi-regular guest spot. The first national bank contract led to 3 more corporate clients. Alex hired 4 craftsmen, with Chris and him overseeing operations in both cities. Ben kept his distance, he worked, paid off debt, and never asked for forgiveness. That was enough. The most profound change happened with his dad. One evening, while reviewing invoices, he admitted he had never truly understood Alex's craft until seeing it up close. He confessed to carrying a newspaper clipping of Alex's high school woodworking competition in his wallet for years, hiding his pride because it didn't fit his notion of success. His dad gradually discovered his own talent for making small, intricate pieces and began teaching Leo woodworking on Saturday mornings. When some extended family visited for Thanksgiving, his dad openly praised Alex's business. There was no hedging, no backhanded compliments. Later, his mom revealed that his dad used to secretly sit in the treehouse Alex had built as a teenager, finding it the only place he could truly relax. She acknowledged how Emily's perfect, rich marriage had left her miserable, while Alex's authentic path had brought him success and happiness. 3 weeks after Thanksgiving, Tom's social media post revealed he had referred to their business as Henderson & Son Fine Furniture, in a feature for Artisan Woodworker magazine. Although they hadn't discussed bringing his dad into the business name, Alex decided to make it official with the condition that appearances and status seeking were permanently behind them. The formal handshake with his dad meant more than any corporate contract he had signed in his banking career. The next morning, Alex announced the official formation of Henderson & Son Fine Furniture to the family. Leo immediately asked if it might someday be Henderson & Sons, bringing genuine delight to his father's face. It was funny how the people who had dismissed him ended up building their lives around his. That was all the revenge Alex needed. Ben stayed quiet. He sent one last text a few weeks later, "You earned everything. I just hope someday I can, too." Alex left it unread. Some bridges don't need burning.